I'm not excited, to be honest with you. I don't like this. This show rules too much to be over. Cut its budget in half. It can look a bit shittier. I know it's not canceled. It's supposed to actually end. We'll see. Full reactions are on Patreon, or if you want, you can pull up your copy of Arcane Episode 7. Pretend like it's the first time, and press play on it when I press play when the timer reaches 0. Dump 'em. Oops. Alright, we're coming back to the science. Ooh. Are you like uh, alternate reality? Something like? Is this like he's taking Jace's place in the first episode? Wait! Pretend like it's the first time. Wait. No, okay. It's just an alternate future. Okay. That's a very good question. This is the least excited I've ever been to see the intro. Tell you you're the greatest. Now, I just don't. I assume it's just like a hallucination or something, but because I don't think we have time to really get a time travel type story in here. To be honest with you, I think Medarda is already complicating the season enough with being completely removed from the main plot. I wouldn't feel that way if we had more TV show, but we don't. We're running out of time. Is this if Zahn had fully worked out? Or are we seeing even more than that? Maybe if Vander had successfully escaped Silco way back when, Powder hadn't killed most of her friends. What was that? Nothing. It was the magic stuff. 342. In 3, 2, 1, go. You look so different. I'm gonna try and meet this episode on its terms because I think this concept rules. Oh, wow, that's Clagger. Wow. I didn't even recognize him. Yeah, like, where is the diverging point? Because the latest diverging point is obviously when Silico kidnapped Vander, if they could have. No, because he killed Benzo before that. It had to be earlier than that. Ugh. But yeah, all I was gonna say is I'm gonna try and meet this episode on its terms because I think this idea kind of rules and this is amazing. But when we only have 3 episodes left, I just have an impending sense of dread that we're spending time on things that we can't afford to spend time on. I'm assuming we're not gonna be more than half of this episode on this, but ooh. Maybe if that original war had never happened. As a bartender. Ooh, that's some dollar store wisdom there for you. Here we go. Once Jace shows up, we have our full cast of Ooh, do you know? What's going on? Once Jace shows up, we have our full cast of characters for those that were there. Uh, when you guys got all sent astray. You are marvelously resolute to have figured it out so quick. Yeah, why did you get sent here so... Wow. But this is a proper reality then. And it's not like you couldn't have done it with the information you surely had. You've got people to help. You could have put things back together. Oh, the sad thing is that the Echo here is effectively dead. At least while you're here, hopefully. Dude, could that be them setting up whatever the spin-off show is gonna be? I know that they're planning to tell more League of Legends world stories. Maybe. And I would... Ooh. Alright, if that's their idea, because that feels too concrete of a plot line they're creating right there. That's... And I wouldn't feel this way if I knew there was going to be another season of Arcane. Like, oh, this is what they're doing with Echo right now. I wonder how this is all going to play into final events. But they just don't have time. But if they're setting up one of the other shows, cool. This, the guy who saved you and your mom, right? Probably. Why are magic people always so rude? Wow. That's suitably gruesome. Okay. Straight in the noggin. You see in the future. I guess the big question here is where did Jace get the crystals? Because with those, you could at least make a starting point. Or how did he make them, rather? It's implied that he made them. Because Heimerdinger definitely would have been able to recreate the work. As much information as he had at that point, whether he wants to or not, different question. Oh, that's the diverging point, huh? And if Victor had never allied with Jace. Okay, I fully see the diverging point. It's perfect. All that needed to happen for the entire future of the show to be totally different was for that one day to go a little different in so many ways. Gotcha. They show the big fish market merchant a lot for him to have had no lines. Man, it looks like completely different. I didn't need to see that. Come on. We got the idea. You're mining for the crystals. How do you refine them? Because I have to assume that they weren't already explosive and, just complete powerhouses. Jace had to do something to them to turn them into that. Elsewise, people would have already known about them in the threat they posed. Wow. I wonder if we were seeing an alternate future at the end of the last episode. That would be nice. I hope. Oh, word. Yeah, you got the worst deal here as far as alternate realities go. And again, you probably deserve it more than Echo does. I think the first time I really blame you for any of your decisions is not at least trying to work with Heimerdinger. Given his fear of the seed. Heimerdinger could have tried to convey that in a more useful, practical way, but Jace wasn't really meeting him halfway either. Nope. Someone who will take things a little bit more seriously on the safety front. Oh. Does Heimerdinger blame himself? He thinks if he had involved himself more directly, he could have guided things better, perhaps? It's the harsh interpretation of events, but I do think that way. That's the great thing about Arcane as far as the writing goes, is everyone makes decisions that make sense for the way their characters have been built up. It is rare in this show that I think, oh, they're only doing this to forward the plot along. No, it makes sense for the character to have done that. Oh, it's... Oh. Full on infected, huh? Whether or not this is actually happening, still questionable. Oh, he's getting closer to how he looked before. Ooh, a little closer to good old Victor. I don't know how most people feel, but I really do think that Jace, the way he's written, could have been so easily insufferable, where you never felt any of it. You never felt he had any justification for his thought processes. But mostly they handle it really damn well. Doesn't mean he's right most of the time or anything like that, but he makes sense. But I am still mad at you. The tree, yeah. She is. Hell no, 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 no. Well, you were worse. I like you more, but that's because I like a fun TV show. You are objectively better off this way. You're the only one who can help. Heimerdinger's a genius, but you have the the brain to make this work. Absent the man who innovated it all in the first place and his wonderful partner. Okay. Oh, God. I'm feeling really spoiled on soundtracks this year, by the way. Like, this is. This and Penguin are just two outstanding musical scores for TV shows. I feel so weird talking about the Penguin in the same line as Arcane, because otherwise they have absolutely nothing in common. I'm not saying he should know everything, but because he had a very strong disinterest in meddling with the arcane, but simple proximity to it should give Heimerdinger a lot of insight that one wouldn't have otherwise. Wow. Ooh, I wonder if making that is that one of the seeds? No, no. You have to have all these months you have to have asked the question already of what you're trying to do. Y'all know how much I love Groundhog Day! Yeah. We don't need to go to the extremes of Heimerdinger if we can wait 15, 20 years, but we do need to have some precautions in place. And with time travel, frankly, maybe even that the 10 years does make sense to make sure things are safe. Oh my god, I didn't even consider the stopwatch gimmick. Oh my god, you just became so different. Ah, ah, ah! Tell him the honest truth. No, none of that. Just tell him the honest truth. Is he getting rid of it? No, I don't think he's gonna dispose of it because he already put the work in. He knew he was doing something crazy. If anything, Echo might be the one. I also expect Powder to try and go back and save Violet, perhaps. Man, I'm loving this episode, and I kind of am hating it at the same time for the aforementioned reasons. I would have none of these feelings if it weren't the end of the show. Not the episode, obviously, that we got a couple more episodes, but oh, that's cool. Some steampunk herbology. Even he knows what that means to us. Oh, this hurts. Ah! It's been months, right? You should know that he's around. That's a pretty big power in your relationship, but cool. we're seeing the record switched like that in this show. Oh. Wait, no. Okay, okay. I saw her with the boots and I was like, does this? I thought she was gonna have the whole get up. I was like, what happened? I'm not understanding anything. It wasn't the same boots, but it had a similar vibe. I guess it makes sense that they're not really talking about the broader politics of Piltover in this episode because there's no way that everything's just fine now. Given that they haven't that the incident that changed everything wouldn't have caused that. Uh, but I am curious at the same time. Ha, I guess we can now. So are you gonna use those 4 seconds to save Victor? It feels wrong, doesn't it? Only because of what's about to happen. Man! This episode almost makes me feel happy some of the time, but we just know that that's not gonna hold. Are you inside one of the hex gates? Oh. Are you feeling it too? Oh, to leave them behind too. You like default Echo from this universe is still gonna be around, right? Oh, that's cruel. And not even to mention Heimerdinger. Ooh, I'm more confused by how it works for him than anything, but I thought it looked cool on you. It was, in retrospect, a bit of a mistake. Are these the shadows of things that will be or things that may be only? I mean, he does kind of have a ghost of Christmas yet to come vibe. Is she gonna show up just in time to see? Powder's gonna show up and see this. Oh. The eye. Oh, shit. He needs to make sure that it works. Oh, this is painful. No. Regular Echo's still around? Cool, I would have felt even worse for her. I couldn't do it. This has got to be such a confusing day for you, girl. I do think that there's the slightest possibility they plan on going into that alternate reality a bit more in one of the spin-offs. Especially if we're gonna still be showing it, really? Look, I have always been a time travel guy and a Groundhog Day guy, so anything even in that realm is gonna pull me in more than it elevates it for me in a way that is separate from the quality of the work itself. So when it's a good thing too, it's just gonna send me so much. Obviously, I've talked about how this episode feels misplaced, potentially, because of our lack of time. But if I'm gonna have this good of a time watching something, how can I really complain? Okay. Really and truly, it was less focused on the time travel aspect because they really just changed the one event and more focused on the alternate reality aspect if you've played the first Life is Strange. They did something similar there, where it's like one thing changed, and there's countless media that have done a similar thing. I love that concept. I needed a little bit more on the progression of the world for the sake of my own fun. I didn't want too much because they didn't have time to delve into the full change in politics, but it would have been. I would have liked a bit more. Next time.